please? Who is this girl trying to be? And who in the world is she trying to please? Suddenly ignited by a spark, I hear my Savior's voice speaking right to my heart. Don't give up now, and don't be afraid. You know who you are, and you got something to say. And those memories are still burning bright. Oh Jesus, how I love the way you're right in my life. However could it be to have a part in your story? Bigger than what I can see. Little old me, oh little old me. I wanted to be everything growing up. I just had 85 million dreams every 5 minutes. When I got sick, I just kind of stopped dreaming about everything. Nothing was really that important to me, honestly, because I just felt like it was useless to dream. It started off with just like a simple like arm gestures and like leg gestures. And then after even more weeks passed, I started to do this like head twitch thing like that and squeeze my eyes like that and keep them shut for 4 or 5 seconds. And I wanted to try to restrain my body. I realized it was a problem when I couldn't fix it. I was 11 years old, an appointment with my neurologist. They told me I have Tourette Syndrome. It's a neurological, meaning brain condition that causes movements and sounds called tics that are uncontrollable or involuntary. Went into my own world because I hated what I was hearing. I hated hearing the words incurable. I hated hearing the words, you know, treatment and tests and trying medicines. That phrase freaked me out. Tourette syndrome is not a life-threatening condition by any means, but it's very much a life-altering condition. The tics in themselves were getting increasingly worse. I had an issue with always punching things, a lot of times just hitting my knuckles together. My legs would consistently twitch every 3 or 4 steps, and so I just found myself sitting down all the time. I was also diagnosed later with OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, anxiety. I was trying so many different medicines just to make it work, you know, just to be able to wake up in the morning or just to be able to fall asleep at night or just to be able to get through the day. I was having a hard time with it. You know, I felt like I had been serving Jesus my entire life in church, and yet I prayed and said, God, will you fix me? And he wouldn't do it. I mean, I felt like it was something personal almost. I was just like, seriously, Jesus, I don't know if you're like looking over me, like I don't know what's going on, but I'm facing some big stuff here, and I'm gonna need you to fix it like now. And I was just getting really frustrated, and I just went through this period of my life where I started to doubt him. My granddaddy, my mom's dad, I think he just saw that we were just kind of going through so much and just facing just so many troubles. He just wanted to bring joy. He brought a drum set, he brought a guitar and an amplifier, and he was like, let's go. And the first song we ever learned how to play was Amazing Love. It sounded awful, but I remember sitting there playing Amazing Love, how could it be that you, my king, would die for me? When I barely believed those lyrics myself. I learned how to play those drums, and I was like, this is incredible. Like, physically, it felt amazing. I mean, I connected with music in a way that was just, I had never connected with anything before. But also, I realized early on that when I really got in the zone, when I really started to play, that I didn't twitch. And I loved that. I felt free. I was 13, 14 years old, and I was realizing that I love to play instruments and I love to share music with other people. And I also was realizing that God was showing me that even though life is hard, life isn't over. Like, I remember just kind of waking up one morning and realizing that those two things went together. Like, maybe I could encourage somebody else. Like, this whole like kind of concept of encouraging other people became my new favorite thing. I was like, I'm gonna go to YouTube. Like, I gotta tell people on YouTube. And I always say, like, when you serve a big God, it's hard to be surprised when he does big stuff. But at the same time, I was very surprised. And I was 18 or 19 when I got a message on the Twitter that just said, you know, hey, I'd love to talk to you about some music sometime. Your music's great. Signed, Toby Mac. They offered me a deal with GoTo Records. That's kind of how it all started from there. Literally 2 weeks later, we were in the studio recording Hold Me. I do still have Tourette syndrome, but it's a challenge, but it's not as severe as it was when I was a kid. I might go through even more difficult things as I get older. I just have to focus on the things that the Lord has given me. And my favorite Bible verse, I mean, just is Psalms 30, verse 5, and it says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And that
is just kind of a reminder to me that we're gonna cry, we're gonna weep, and it may last a whole night. It may last a whole month, sometimes a year. That mourning may last a little bit longer, but God's never failing joy, His never ending joy will always come in the morning.
It is well.